Alright, welcome back to Trials in a Trench Coat. I'm in Hearts 3, and today we are back in Dragon Age Inquisition. Last time we met with the Rebel Mages in Redcliffe. We finally made it to Redcliffe. We picked up a bunch of quests, we walked around, we soaked in all the history, we learned some troubling things, and we met with the mages who, for some reason, has allied with the Tevinter Magisters. Now, for people who want their freedom, I guess, yes, desperate times call for desperate measures. So, of course, when you walk around and you talk to everyone, they're just like, I can't believe that the Grand Enchanter did this to us. I can't believe that she sided with, she asked for the Tevinter's help. And it was also not adding up how we could meet with Grand Enchanter Fiona in Val Royeaux, but also 2 days after the Enclave, before we even woke up, and met her in Val Royeaux, she got help from the Magisters and Tevinter, and she wouldn't need our help if the Tevinter Magisters were already helping. Now, help from the Tevinter Magisters is a weird, kooky thing because they are indentured servants for 10 years, and then they will have rights. That doesn't sound like help to me. So, Felix, the son of Alexius, who's the Magister, snuck us a note by feigning sick, but apparently he actually has an illness, and he gave us a note to meet him at the Chantry, and that we're in danger. Obviously, we're always in danger. Apparently, it goes further and deeper than we thought. It ties to the rift that we closed in front of Redcliffe. It had some time magic problems going along with it. Yeah, apparently Alexius used time magic to wind back time to get there after the Divine Justinia had died in the Enclave, in the Conclave, to get to the Rebel Mages. Why? To get to us. Why? We don't know. So many questions, so little time. So today we find ourselves at a crossroads. We now have access to both Templar and Mage quest lines. The Templar quest lines is Champions of the Just, which will lead us to allying with the Templars, and the Mage quest line is in Hushed Whispers, which will lead us to allying with the Mages. So, obviously, you cannot do both quests in a playthrough. So we will have to choose who we want to side with. So we're going to talk to our companions, because we haven't done that at all, literally. And that's not fair, because they're very cool. And we have most of them now. There's a couple that unlock after what we do as the story progresses, but so far right now, these are it. These are the guys. And I'd like to have at least some approval with them. Unfortunately, I can't see how good my approval is with them or what my disposition is. You have to tell strictly by how they talk to you. So, and that depends even through like romancing and everything. Alright, so let's get to talking to everybody because we're on a short little time leash. So we can start with Solus.
What can I do for you?
Alright, he's saying, what can I do for you? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? So he's neutral warm, which is -5 to 74. Anything above 74, 75 would be friendly, which we would get a good afternoon and whatnot. So let's investigate. He loves when you ask questions, but sometimes you can ask the wrong questions and he'll be like, So, yeah. You know, I say if you're looking for a way to get to be in good graces with him, ask him questions. Don't be afraid to look up guides, because it's difficult out there.
I'd be interested in hearing your opinions on elven culture.
I thought you would be more interested in sharing your opinions of elven culture. You are Dalish, are you not?
My people come from the elves who refused to surrender when humans broke their treaty and destroyed the Dales.
Your keeper was not wrong about that, at least. We must mark the occasion of the Dalish remembering something correctly. Perhaps we should plant a tree.
You insult my people.
They insult themselves. Remember, I have walked the memories of the Fade. I have seen the history the Dalish imitate.
Irabella, Saren. If the Dalish have done you a disservice, I would make that right. What course would you set for them that is better than what they know now?
You are right, of course. The fault is mine, for expecting what the Dalish could never truly accomplish. Irabalas, Stalin. If I can offer any understanding, you have but to ask.
Is the magic they teach in the Circle different from the magic I learned with my people?
No and yes. Magic is magic, just as water is water, but it can be used in different ways. Dalish magic is more practical, not needing chantry approval, although they still frown on blood magic. Superstition. Much of it is more subtle. A legacy from when elves were immortal.
The legends of elven immortality. Did they use magic to increase their lifespan?
No. It was simply part of being elven. The subtle beauty of their magic was the effect, not the cause of their nature. Some spells took years to cast. Echoes would linger for centuries, harmonizing with new magic in an unending symphony. It must have been beautiful.
You said that the censure against blood magic was a superstition?
I did. It's fortunate Cassandra is not within earshot. Most modern cultures forbid blood magic. Publicly, even Tevinter disapproves of it. But as I said, magic is magic. It matters only in how it is used.
I'd be interested in learning more about blood magic.
I would teach you if I knew it. Unfortunately, using blood magic seems to make it more difficult to enter the Fade. You understand why I never bothered to learn it. A shame, as it is extremely powerful, provided it remains a tool, not a crutch, nor a passion.
Are all Dalish elves like my clan?
No. Your clan was unique in having enough interest in human affairs to send you to spy upon the Divine's meeting. As your clans have been separate for so long, they have all changed, adapting to the lands in which they live. Some are no more than bandits. Others trade freely with humans. And some have disappeared entirely into the forests.
I'd like to know more about the elves from before our time.
The Dalish strive to remember Hallam Sharal. But Hallam Sharal was merely a fumbling attempt to recreate a forgotten land.
Arlathan.
Elvanan was the empire, and Arlathan its greatest city. Place of magic and beauty, lost to time.
You've studied ancient elves. What else do you know of Arlathan?
We hear stories of them living in trees, and imagine wooden ramps or Dalish aeravels. Imagine instead spires of crystal twining through the branches, palaces floating among the clouds. Imagine beings who lived forever, for whom magic was as natural as breathing. That is what was lost.
What can you tell me about elves living in human cities?
The culture in alienages or among the slaves of Tevinter is like any of the impoverished and powerless. They cling to memories of a better past, and practice a few rituals to distinguish themselves from humans.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
I'm going to talk to him again.
What can I do for you?
Because he's got so much.
What do you
Talk
know
about
about
the
the
Fade.
Fade?
A great deal from my wanderings. There are few hard facts, but I can share what I have learned.
I'd like to know more about the Breach.
Simply put, it is a tear in the veil between this world and the Fade, allowing spirits to enter the world physically. Small tears occur naturally when magic weakens the veil, or when spirits cluster at an area that has seen many deaths. But your mark allows you to exert some control over the breach. That means it was created deliberately.
I'd like to know more about the Veil.
Circle mages call it a barrier between this world and the Fade, but according to my studies in ancient elven lore, that is a vast oversimplification. Without it, imagine if spirits entered freely. The Fade was not a place one went, but a state of nature like the wind.
It sounds like it would be wonderful.
And dangerous. But yes, a world where imagination defines reality, where spirits are as common as trees or grass. Instead, spirits are strange and fearful, and the Fade is a terrifying world touched only by mages and dreamers. I am glad that I'm not alone in seeing the beauty of such a world, along with the obvious peril.
I'd like to know more about demons.
Your Dalish say that demons hate the natural world, seek to bring their chaos and destruction to the living. But such simplistic labels misconstrue their motivations, and in so doing, do all a great disservice. Spirits wish to join the living, and a demon is that wish gone wrong.
Is there a way to coexist? To live with them, if not in peace, at least without such active confrontation?
Not in the world we know today. The veil creates a barrier that makes true understanding most unlikely. But the question is a good one, and it matters that you thought to ask.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Alright, for that we unlock the codex entry for spirits and demons.
What can I do for
One
you?
more time. Alright. So, this is when we can ask him about himself. There's some things that become active when you get further into the story. So I'm debating going on about this. So if your disposition's different with them, instead of just like neutral to warm and then friendly, then yeah. If you have a negative, like below a -3 with him, this will not be here. So there's that as well. But let's ask him
I'd
about
like to know
himself.
more about you, Solus.
Why?
You're an apostate, yet you risked your freedom to help the Inquisition.
Not the wisest course of action when framed that way.
I appreciate the work you're doing, Solus. I just wanted to know more about you.
I'm sorry. With so much fear in the air. What would you know of me?
What made you start studying the Fade?
I grew up in a village to the north. There was little to interest a young man, especially one gifted with magic. But as I slept, spirits of the Fade showed me glimpses of wonders I had never imagined. I treasured my dreams. Being awake, out of the Fade, became troublesome.
Did spirits try to tempt you?
No more than a brightly colored fruit is deliberately tempting you to eat it. I learned how to defend myself from more aggressive spirits and how to interact safely with the rest. I learned how to control my dreams with full consciousness. There was so much I wanted to explore.
I gather you didn't spend your entire life dreaming.
No. Eventually, I was unable to find new areas in the Fade.
Why?
2 reasons. First, the Fade reflects the world around it. Unless I traveled, I would never find anything new. Second, the Fade reflects and is limited by our imaginations. To find interesting areas, one must be interesting.
Is this why you joined the Inquisition?
I joined the Inquisition because we were all in terrible danger. If our enemies destroyed the world, I would have nowhere to lay my head while dreaming of the Fade.
Ah,
Inquisitor, that is why I joined, not why I stayed.
I wish you luck.
Thank you. In truth, I've enjoyed experiencing more of life to find more of the Fade.
How so?
You train your will to control magic and withstand possession. Your indomitable focus is an enjoyable side benefit. You have chosen a path whose steps you do not dislike because it leads to a destination you enjoy. As have I.
So we get our first little taste. Romance. I don't think he soft locks you, so yeah. Like with Cassandra, I'll indulge a little.
Indomitable focus?
Presumably, I have yet to see it dominated. I imagine that the sight would be fascinating.
I'm gonna do a kickflip.
You said you'd traveled to many different places.
This world, or its memory, is reflected in the Fade. Dream in ancient ruins, you may see a city lost to history. Some of my fondest memories were found in crumbling cities, long picked dry by treasure seekers, the best of the battlefields. Spirits press so tightly on the veil that you can slip across with but a thought.
Any place in particular?
I dreamt at Ostagar. I witnessed the brutality of the Darkspawn and the valor of the Ferelden warriors. I saw Alistair and the hero Ferelden light the signal fire, and Logain's infamous betrayal of Kaelin's forces.
I've heard the stories. It would be interesting to hear what it was really like.
That's just it. In the Fade, I see reflections created by spirits who react to the emotions of the warriors. One moment, I see heroic wardens lighting the fire, and a power-mad villain sneering as he lets King Kalen fall. The next, I see an army overwhelmed and a veteran commander refusing to let more soldiers die in a lost cause.
And you can't tell which is real?
It is the Fade. They are all real.
Have you always traveled and studied alone?
Not at all. I have built many lasting friendships. Spirits of wisdom, possessed of ancient knowledge, happy to share what they had seen. Spirits of purpose helped me search. Even wisps, curious and playful, would point out treasures I might have missed.
I don't know of any spirits by those names.
They rarely seek this world. When they do, their natures do not often survive exposure to the people they encounter. Wisdom and purpose are too easily twisted to pride and desire.
You're saying that you became friends with pride and desire demons?
They were not demons for me.
Meaning?
The Fade reflects the minds of the living. If you expect a spirit of wisdom to be a pride demon, it will adapt. And if your mind is free of corrupting influences, if you understand the nature of the spirit, they can be fast friends.
I'm impressed that you could become friends with spirits.
Anyone who can dream has the potential. Few ever try. My friends comforted me in grief and shared my joy. Yet, because they exist without form, as we understand it, the Chantry declares that spirits are not truly people. Is Cassandra defined by her cheekbones and not her faith? Varric by his chest hair and not his wit?
You have an interesting way of looking at the world, Solus.
I try. And that isn't quite an answer.
I look forward to helping you make new friends.
That should be... well...
That isn't quite an answer either. We'll talk later.
Goodbye. Greetings.
We'll talk later.
Goodbye.
Alright, we've exhausted all dialogue with Solus.
Hey, it's you again.
Okay, so we're at least neutral with Sarah. So, at any point, I don't know why you can just kick her out. Which is very strange.
You apparently have a lot of friends. Tell me about your network.
It's not mine, right? I mean, it is, but it's also everyone. Everyone who wants to shove it to nobles who hide behind gold and silk. And hats, I guess.
Are you just about pranks and revenge? Or is there more to it?
Well, it's a weave, right? I grease a ballroom, so a wyvern chasing Git has to hunt Sprained. Strangely, handmaids leave his vault open. His heirlooms pay off someone else. Maybe clean streets in Kirkwall so someone gets something else. Pish, pish, pish. A lot of people eventually get help or a laugh. Or maybe someone dead, if they deserve it.
I'm glad I met you before someone decided what I deserved.
You're no hateful ass so far. I'd just get you with a pie or something. Anyway, assassin's a bard's job, innit? No fun, that lot. They might plonk a noble, right? But only to raise another. Plus, I'm shite at singing.
Where are the people you promised?
If I knew, they wouldn't be much use. That's sort of the point. Look, unless your baddies are rocks or trees, they have people they use. Cooks, squires, wipers. Yeah, I know, wipers, right? You better believe the one with wipers deserve it, right in the... Well, anyway. The little people will be there when you need them, in a million little ways.
So lots of little contributions add up in the background, like snowflakes that snap a branch.
What? Sure. Like snow, I guess. Anyway, it just works, most of the time. Friend of a friend and little hints. Mind you still have to be smart. Don't bet your life unless you're into that. To be clear, I'm not into that.
I can play along if it works for you.
You have a choice. Hail the Inquisition.
Is Red Jenny real? Or was she always just you and your friends?
Dunno.
Don't you care?
Not if it works. I mean, Red is scary because blood. And Jenny is... Look, nobody fears the bunch of people who do random stuff. And besides, it's easy. Nobles want a bogeyman because they need to believe normal people can't get at them. Numbers, right? It don't have to be so complicated.
It seems like it should be more complicated than that.
That's why you be bad at it and why I'm here. You don't want to play, don't play. That's simple too.
We'll talk another time.
It's all good, innit? Her gracious lady bit.
Tell me about yourself.
What about me?
You're skilled. Who taught you how to use a bow?
No one.
That seems unlikely.
What? I picked it up here and there. Mostly it just makes sense. It's not like that for you.
Usually it takes considerable discipline, hence my question.
Hence. Look, I work at it. Practice a little. Not like Cullen and his pets. I mean, you miss, then you don't. Is it that hard to see when it's wrong?
Well, it's not like that for other elves. I know that.
Most I know couldn't find an arrow sitting on it. Right. Maybe I just make it look easy in shite company. Fact still is, no teacher. Where would I find one in alleyways anyway?
How about the basics? Where are you from?
Ferelden?
I got that from the accent. Where in Ferelden?
All over? Okay, fine. Denerim for a bit. South, north, wherever I want.
There are no connections you want to mention at all?
Nope.
How very Kunari of you.
What?
Never mind.
Good, right?
We'll talk later.
If you say so.
And that unlocked more stuff for Sarah. Sarah doesn't see herself as elfy. Other elves. Elven-like? Like other elves. And we're ready to talk to Eric.
Need something?
Wow, I'm standing at a terrible angle. Apologies, my guy.
Can I ask you something, Varric?
You want to talk about me? I'm flattered. Also inclined toward extravagant lies.
Are you from Ferelden? Or Ley?
Free marches, born and raised in Kirkwall. And despite whatever you've heard, no, Kirkwall's not that bad.
I'm not clear on your line of work. You're a merchant?
I'm a businessman. My family has a seat in the Dwarven Merchants Guild. Merchants buy and sell goods. Businessmen buy and sell stores. In my spare time, I manage a spy network, and occasionally, I write books.
If you run a spy network, why is Liliana our spy master?
To be honest with you, she's just a better spy master. The truly great ones can keep their distance. They don't get attached to their people. Me, I always wind up babysitting my informants and worrying about their families. We're in better hands with her.
How do you and Cassandra know each other?
You heard about the Kirkwall Chantry being destroyed? The guy responsible used to be a friend of mine. The Seeker had questions about that, and I had answers.
Where did you get that crossbow? I've never seen one like it.
Bianca? She's one of a kind. There's a hidden shop in Kirkwall called the Black Emporium. I found her in a barrel labeled swag. The owner sold her to me for a ham sandwich and a pair of yellow ruffled pants.
Who is she named for?
I can't tell you.
And the reason for that is...
Complicated. It's the one story I'll never tell. We just have to leave it at that.
Thanks, Varric.
No problem. Need something?
I've read your Tale of the Champion, and I have a few questions.
That's a pretty common reaction. Go ahead.
What happened to the mage who destroyed the Kirkwall Chantry? The book never said.
He fled Kirkwall with the mages from the Circle. Stayed with them a while, but he had to move on. Somehow a lot of mages blamed him for making them live as fugitives. I don't know where he is now, and I don't want to know.
There's no way Hawk really could have killed the Arashok. It would have started a war with the Kunari.
I was told later that the Kunari disavowed his actions. Apparently the Arashok didn't get permission before he attacked Kirkwall, and the Qun didn't want another exalted march. When they finally sent a ship to haul the wrecked dreadnought away, they just said, "We will never speak of this again." As far as I can tell, that's the Cune's version of an apology.
Where are the rest of Hawk's associates now?
Meryl decided to look after the elves left homeless by the fighting. She's done a pretty good job of keeping them away from the mages and Templars, so far. I guess she has plenty of practice avoiding stupid human battles with her old Dalish clan. Fenris has kept himself busy, hunting down the Tevinter slavers who came south to prey on the refugees. I'm not sure exactly where he is at the moment. You can usually follow the trail of corpses, though. Isabella went back to the Raiders. She's calling herself an admiral now. I don't know if she's actually in charge or just has a really big hat. Might be the same thing, honestly. Hawk's little brother was off on some warden business near the Anderfell's border last I knew. Aveline is still guard captain. I'm pretty sure Kirkwall would fall into the sea if she quit her job.
Notorious Raider Trash Codex unlocked. And this is if Isabella wasn't turned over to the Aeroshock. Okay. Hello, Krem. Get to talk to Bull.
How's it going?
How's it going? Sorry, Bull. Let me just get my clipboard. How's it going? Oh no, he's hostile, cold, and neutral to me.
I'd like to know more about your work with the Ben Hasrath.
Ben Hasrath is actually a general term. You've got the secret police who investigate problems inside our territory. You've got the re-educators who take people with problems and fix their minds. Or make them disappear. And then you've got the spies.
How do the re-educators work?
Well, I only know the basics. Wasn't my area. That said, keep a man awake long enough. Ask the right questions, give the right potions, and you can get him to say anything. You don't need blood magic or demons to change someone's mind. We're a lot more fragile than we'd like to believe.
You can alter someone's beliefs that easily.
One of my friends was a re-educator. He said that every memory is like the page of a book. When you examine a memory, you're turning to that page, and when you're there, the page is laid bare. Write a few notes in the margins of the page, erase a word here and there, and your whole outlook changes. I always felt a little weird reading after that conversation.
None of those sound exactly like you.
Yeah, I was a special case. They sent me to Saharan because they needed someone who could fight and hunt down problems. That whole island was a sack of cats. Incursions from Tevinter, Tal-Vashath, and native rebels fighting both sides. And in the middle, me, trying to wrangle the rebels and restore order.
Can't imagine that was easy.
Nope. I hunted down a lot of rebels. Lost a lot of friends to the Vince, or the Fog Warriors, or the Tal-Vashath. One day I woke up and couldn't think of a damned reason to keep doing my job. Turned myself into the re-educators.
You'd heard what the re-educators did to their prisoners.
Yes, I had. I wanted them to fix me like they fixed them. The Ben Hasrath ordered me to go to Orlais, ostensibly as a Tal-Vashath, and work undercover. That's how I ended up here.
Oh shoot. Well, we simply must.
I'm glad you're here, Bull.
Me too.
If you ever need to talk more about all this, let me know.
Nah, it was a long time ago. Thanks, though.
Alright, cool. We get information on Ben Hassaret, re-educators, and Saharan. I think that was it.
How's it going?
I'd like to know more about the Kunari.
You writing a book?
It's your culture, and I'd like to know you better.
You could just ask.
I am.
All right. What do you want to know?
The word Kunari. Is that the race or the religion?
Both. Kind of. The humans and elves who follow the Qun are the Vidathari. The Kunari who break away from the Qun are Tal-Vashath, deserters.
What about Kunari who existed before the Qun?
The people we came from. They're called the Kossith, but we don't use that word for the race. We came south to Thedas because the Kossith were... I don't know. We had to leave. The stories aren't clear. But I don't expect they look much like us. Whatever they are.
How do the Qunari rule themselves?
It's pretty simple. We've got the matriarchy, the priesthood, and the military. The priesthood figures out how Qunari should live in theory. The matriarchy makes it work in practice. And the military keeps the Qunari safe from outside threats.
Does it actually work like that? Is there much infighting?
Not like you're thinking of. People disagree, yeah, but the priests are there to solve disagreements. Here in Olay, politicking comes from people putting their own gain ahead of the gains of society. If you do that among the Qunari, the Ben Hasrath set you straight. Or kill you.
What's it like growing up under the Qun?
The Tamasrans raise us in these units of kids all our own age. They're like teachers, or chantry sisters. They also help figure out what jobs we should do. They had me pegged for military work early on. When they learned I could hit stuff and lie, they started training me for the Ben Hasrath.
That must have been a good day for you.
Yes, it's like being a block of stone with a sculptor working on you. One day, the last of the crap gets knocked off, and you can see your real shape. What you're supposed to be. That's a good day.
I heard there's no marriage among the Qunari.
Yeah, that's true. Qunari love our friends like anyone does, but we don't have sex with them.
Qunari don't have sex?
Oh, we definitely have sex. Their Tamasrans will pop your cork whenever you need it.
Seriously?
Yes. It's not a big deal like it is here. It's like, I don't know, going to see a healer. Sometimes it's this long, involved thing. It takes all day, leaves you walking funny. Other times you're in and out in 5 minutes. Thank you. See you next week.
I could work with that.
I know, right? No drama. Still, it's more fun here. Fewer rituals, more making it up as you go along. Plus, you folk have redheads. Redheads.
How is everyday life different for Qunari?
Depends on your job, I guess. Some are just about the same. A baker in Valroyo gets up, gets dressed, and starts work. A baker in Parvolan does the same thing. They don't care about the Empire or the Qun. Mostly they worry about breaking eggs and hope the dough rises right.
It can't be exactly the same. The Qunari have no personal freedoms.
How many personal freedoms do you figure that baker in Valroyo has? Life isn't about freedom. The baker in Parvolan wonders if she'll be given enough eggs to do her work. Will they come on time? Will the kitchen workers get her bread while it's fresh, or will they come late and blame her 'cause it's stale? Same crap in Valroyo. People are just people.
Do you ever think about what would happen if the Qunari conquered Orlais or Ferelden?
Some folks, like Cassandra or Cullen, would do fine if they didn't die fighting. Those two love rules. But the mages... Can you imagine Solus trying his fade dreaming under the Qun? Or Vivian doing her political bullshit? Both Sarah and Varric would mouth off until they ended up re-educated. Drugged until their minds broke. So, to answer your question, no. I don't think about it much at all.
Oh, well.
See you later, bro.
All right.
See ya.
His dialogue with him, it doesn't really... You don't really get much approval, but you get what you get. It's basically what it is. Alright, we've technically already talked to Blackwall a little bit, but let's conversate with him.
Something on your mind?
Apparently you are strangely charming. Alright, Blackwall, let's see. Something on my mind. Oh, we're neutral, warm, and friendly, everybody. But that's -4 to 125. And that is why he soft locks you. That is such a big margin between not friendly and friendly. Neutral, warm, friendly. Those are in the same thing. We are in the neutral, warm, friendly. That is a -4 to 125. I'm worried about this man.
Let's talk about the Grey Wardens. You must know a lot about them.
Ah, the Wardens. I'm afraid we're less exciting than we seem.
The Blight's been over for 10 years. What do Wardens do when the world's not ending?
There are still Darkspawn. Just because we killed so many in Ferelden doesn't mean they're gone. And the world is not so peaceful that there's no use for good men with swords. Sometimes you have to figure out for yourself what the pledge to protect others really means. It's not always about just archdemons and blights.
Where were you during the Blight?
I was in Ferelden, on my own, like always. Quietly killed my fair share of Darkspawn too.
You haven't had contact with other Wardens for a while. Why were you on your own?
It's what I've always done. Recruitment only requires one man. Besides, I've always been a loner. Works best for everyone that way.
So you have no idea where the rest of the Wardens are?
Do you find that odd? The Blight is over. We don't need an organized force. And orders don't change much from day to day. For the last 1,000 years or so, it's been just find Darkspawn, kill them, repeat as necessary.
Let's continue this at another time.
As you wish. I'll be here if you need me. Inquisitor?
I want to hear more about you.
Compared to yours, my life will seem dull indeed.
Your name Blackwall doesn't sound Orlesian. Marcher, then? Ferelden?
I was from the Free Marchers originally. Markham. That was a long time ago. Another life.
I hear that many Wardens were once criminals.
You're right. And when you join, your past is forgotten, so let's leave it that way.
What did you do before you became a Warden?
I was a soldier, a nobody trained to wield a sword and follow orders. I grew weary of fighting other men's wars.
So you became a Warden?
More or less. Becoming a Grey Warden was the first time I felt like I mattered. The life I led before seems hollow in comparison. Perhaps one day it will fade away.
Why did you join the Wardens?
Because they remember honor and sacrifice. Words that have little meaning to the rest of us. Because they lay down their lives for those they have sworn to protect. We all need to believe there are such men in the world. I needed to believe I could be one of them.
We can continue this discussion at another time.
Very well. Something on your mind?
What do you think of the Inquisition?
I expected more. More men, better equipment. You may have Andraste's favor, but wars are won by men, soldiers.
Avoiding war altogether would be ideal.
True enough. Still, it never hurts to be prepared. One thing I will say about your men. They're passionate, devoted. You inspire them. Build on that foundation, and you will have an army that makes nations tremble.
Okay, so this is like he has the same thing that Sarah has. You don't get to like kick him out, but you can ask Sarah about like the different people in the Inquisition and everything. So he has the same thing. This doesn't change. I'm
should
pretty
return to our
sure. So
duties.
we'll talk later.
As you wish. You are, after all, in charge.
I am technically not in charge, my guy. I literally just close rifts. Hello, Cassandra. Hello. Alright, greetings, she says. She says greetings. So that means we're neutral. Neutral, not warm.
I have some more questions.
As you wish.
So you were the right hand to the Divine?
To Divine Justinia, yes. And Divine Beatrix before her, in fact. The position is normally reserved for Templars of the Knights Divine, but my circumstances were unusual.
Unusual how?
You don't know the story? Thank the Maker. I will tell you if you wish, but it isn't as exciting as some drum it up to be. The short version is that I once saved the previous Divine's life. My reward was becoming her right hand.
But what does a right hand do exactly?
What is your hand capable of? It gives, it takes, it beckons. It makes a fist. Liliana and I extended the Divine's reach beyond the Grand Cathedral. We went where she could not. After Beatrix, I was tired of the position and wanted to return to the Seekers. But Justinia convinced me to stay. Her vision for the future gave me hope.
You thought she could really change things.
Justinian knew the war was coming long before it began. She tried to avert it, but the forces arrayed against her were too strong. Sometimes you have to break a bone so it can be reset. That's where the Inquisition comes in. It was to be the answer. A means to preserve as well as an agent for change. I only wish she had lived to see it.
So what's the story about you becoming the right hand?
Sweet Andraste, do you really want to hear that? It was, what, 18, 20 years ago? Some still discuss it like it happened yesterday. The tale gets bigger each time it's told. I barely recognize myself within it now.
That's what happens with stories that become legends.
I am not a legend, nor was I then. I was a young woman barely out of training. To hear others tell it, I alone saved Divine Beatrix from a horde of dragons sent to assault the Grand Cathedral. Rather impressive for such a young seeker, wouldn't you say?
And the truth is?
I stumbled upon a conspiracy to kill Beatrix. A Templar Knight Commander was at its heart. And there was a dragon battle at the Grand Cathedral, but I had help from loyal mages who rallied to the cause. They freed the dragons from magical control. Without them, the Divine and I would both have died. Yet I became the right hand, and they are forgotten.
What happened to the mages that helped you?
They went back to their circles, with rewards and privileges and Most Holy's gratitude. Many of them died at the conclave.
You're delightful. You know that?
No, I do not know that.
Mm-hmm.
I object. There is nothing delightful about me.
I beg to differ.
I think I preferred you in the stocks.
I'll let you get back to work.
I'm fear that this entire episode is going to be us talking to people.
Did you need something?
I should get to know you better. We're working together, after all.
What would you like to know?
All right. Where are you from?
How to act for Eldon. Wait, I'm sorry. I don't know. What would you like to know? Codex entry. How to act for Eldon. My esteemed Lady Sidonia, I'd like to take full responsibility for Lady Martelette's odd behavior of late. You see, we recently began the study of history. I thought that it would do the young mistress some good to be exposed to all Theodosian cultures and not just Orlais. What a foolish thought. Regrettably, your dear daughter has taken a peculiar interest in Ferelden folklore. She first developed an affinity for King Calenhad, which seemed to have been devolved into borderline infatuation. She stared at me, eyes wide, when I told her he unified the barbarians with his incomparable might and charisma. Every time I tried to move the lesson on to something more important, she insisted I tell her again about Calenhad. How the Ferelden say his hair was twice as yellow as the sun, and his chin more chiseled than the tallest peak in the Frostbacks. Twice now I have had to tear down drawings she's tacked up on her bedroom of the man shirtless. Then we moved on to the werewolves, which was even worse. As you may already know, the Freldens venerate the folk heroes Dane and Hafter. Dane was said to have been a werewolf and Hafter to have descended from one. No enlightened man or woman could ever view such beast people with anything but revulsion. But you know Freldens and their love of wildlife. Unfortunately, these tales of the wolfmen has set the little mistress's imagination afire. When she suggested we put on a play for you and her lord father, I could not say no. I'm afraid that's why Motelet was running through the mansion wearing wet furs and frightening the chambermaids. She was rehearsing a scene in which Hafner drives back the Darkspawn. I've been informed that some priceless family heirlooms were destroyed amidst all the confusion, and I cannot fully express my dismay. I understand if my abject failure as a tutor resulted in my immediate dismissal. A letter from Brother Bernard to his former employer.
I grew up in Ferelden near Honleath. I was transferred to
Where did that
Kirkwall
come
shortly
from?
after the Blight. This is the first I've returned in almost 10 years.
I'm sorry, Cullen, I'm distracted.
You haven't seen Ferelden in 10 years. Are you glad to be back?
I was not sorry to leave at the time. I did not expect to return. Now, between the Divine's murder and the breach, I've arrived to find nothing but chaos.
You were in Ferelden during the Blight. Did you fight Darkspawn?
No. I was stationed at Ferelden's Circle Tower. The Circle had troubles of its own. I remained there during the Blight.
What happened at the Circle Tower?
Few who survived the Blight have fond memories of that time. I would prefer not to speak of it.
What was Kirkwall like?
While I was there, Canary occupied and then attacked the city. The Viscount's murder caused political unrest. Relations between mages and Templars fell apart. An apostate blew up the Chantry, and the Knight Commander went mad. Other than that, it was fine.
Oh, well, as long as it was fine.
What happened between Kirkwall's mages and Templars?
You were at the Conclave. You must have heard people speak of it.
Yes, but you were there.
There was tension between mages and Templars long before I arrived. Eventually, it reached a breaking point. There was fighting in the streets. Abominations began killing both sides. It was a nightmare.
What happened then?
The Templars should have restored order, but Red Lyrium had driven Knight Commander Meredith mad. She threatened to kill Kirkwall's champion, turned on her own men. I'm not sure how far she would have gone. Too far.
So you opposed her?
I stood with the champion against her, in the end. I should have seen through Meredith sooner.
Varric's from Kirkwall. Did you two know each other?
I knew he was friends with the champion of Kirkwall, but little else. We've spoken more since I joined the Inquisition, largely at Varric's insistence. Apparently, I spend too much time with a serious expression on my face, and it's bad for my health.
I'll let you return to your work.
It is.
I'm sure you have other matters to attend.
It is bad for your health.
Did you need something?
Is there anything I should know?
The Lord Seeker's actions are a mystery, but the Templars will aid us. They cannot sit idle while the breach remains.
What do you think of the people you work with?
Who do you mean?
What do you think of our ambassador?
We have little in common. How she delights in meeting with nobles all day is beyond me. But I enjoy working with her.
How do you like working with Liliana?
The Inquisition would not exist without her. I may not always agree with her methods, but she's more passionate about our cause than anyone. Cassandra may have declared the Inquisition publicly, but Liliana is just as responsible for its formation.
Are you satisfied with the Inquisition's forces?
Our numbers are small, but they suit our needs for the time being. Some Templars have joined us instead of following the Order. They've proven invaluable in training new recruits.
I should let you get back to work.
Alright. I forgot we still have Josephine to talk to as well. But Josephine and Cullen, as I've said, both of them, while romanceable, don't really have an approval scale. It's very odd because I will say I have romanced Cullen, and I don't remember how it happened. It just happens.
The gardener watches the earth for the first signs of life.
We've talked to her at length a little bit when she showed up. I'm pretty sure we're at least neutral with her. even though we did take a approval hit a moment ago or earlier. I don't think there's really anything to talk about. Cause Iron Bull, they don't really give you approval. The only one that really gives you a lot of approval is Solus, because his whole thing is you asking questions and being curious. Because I feel like that's his entire thing. So I don't think there's anything that we can really talk about because we've already talked to her. So I'll leave you to it, girl. Bye.
Please send him my thanks. Greetings.
What do the people make of us?
Despite our fame, we're low on steadfast allies. We must aim for more.
Any visiting dignitaries I should watch out for?
Sir Griffith of Denerim, a most distinguished knight of the realm. He's defeated darkspawn, slain demons, chased down abominations. Just don't ask him about it over dinner. He spares no detail.
Oh,
Good day to
apologies.
you.
How do you and Liliana know each other?
We moved through similar circles in Orlais. I believe we actually met in Val Royaux. Leliana was quite an accomplished player of the game by then.
What exactly do you mean when you say the game?
Forgive me. The game refers to the slow duels of influence among the noble and powerful of Orlais. It's a rather light-hearted name for the matter, but Orlesians are fond of playful touches.
Ah, yes, the game. One of the worst things to happen to everyone who visits Orlais, from what I hear.
Tell me how you came to work for the Inquisition again?
I'd been considering leaving my post in Antiva for a new challenge when Leliana recruited me. There's such unrest in Talos, and the Inquisition seems a promising method to stop it. It's to everyone's benefit if we prevent the Mage-Templar conflict from spreading further.
So was it the prospect of stability that drew you here?
The full impact of the Mage Rebellion has yet to be felt, and that was before the death of the Divine. The violence must be curbed before we see it turn to full-scale war.
I can only imagine the bloodshed if it escalates further.
I'm afraid history holds many examples of what will happen if it does.
Let's speak later.
Goodbye.
Okay. I need to remember to, have small conversations with everyone. From time to time. Okay. Oh, shoot. I meant to save. Hold on. I'm going to leave, and then I'm going to save, because that is going to be our point of return. Sorry, everybody. Give me, 5 minutes, okay? 5 minutes. I just need a drink. Okay. Oop, can't save. And we can. Okay. I wish we could rename it. Can we rename it? Can we name this? No, we can just delete it. Okay. This 2409 save will be our point of return. This is where we will come back to when we go to restart. This is where we will be when we come to do the second quest. Now that we've talked to everybody, we've had our fun, now it's time to get serious. Okay, everybody. I've done some deliberating as I've talked to everybody, and I feel that it is for the best that we start with Champions of the Just. We're getting gold. We're turning in that
Master
gold.
Dennett's horses are a fine addition to our stables. I will see they are well tended.
Oop. Let me do that. Champions of the Just. Liliana and Josephine have been working tirelessly to convince, coerce, and win over some of Orlais's most influential houses. 10 noble families will help the Inquisition pressure the Templars into sealing the breach, traveling to Therenfall Redoubt and demanding the Lord Seeker deal with them or face the wrath of Orlais. The Inquisition has promised the Herald of Andraste as its voice in these negotiations. Recommended level 4 through 7.
The Templars must help us close the breach. The Order was founded to fight magic.
We must first convince the Lord Seeker to bring the Templars out of exile.
We've received word from a knight recruit. They gather at Theronfall Redoubt.
It has been vacant for decades. Why go there?
We must approach the Lord Seeker again to get anywhere. We can ask him then.
We present a plan to seal the breach. The Templars may ally with us.
First, we must prove ourselves a more attractive prospect. If it's status the Lord Seeker seeks, the Inquisition will approach him after allying with the noblest houses in Orlais. They'll come with us to Theronfall and demand the Templars' help close the breach.
You believe that will work?
Even the Lord Seeker would find it difficult to ignore so many nobles on his doorstep.
Yes, especially when led by the Herald of Andraste.
If it stops the sky from ripping open, I'm listening.
Rumors you were saved from the fate by Andraste have grown legion among the Templars. We've done our part to encourage them. A herald with a few companions may be dismissed, easily set aside. That same herald returning with noble support will be reconsidered, as will the power of the Inquisition.
Isn't there the slightest chance the Lord Seeker will see my arrival as a threat?
Before, I would have thought he was a man of reason. Now, I could not say.
With respect, after his appearance in Val Royeaux, hang what the Lord Seeker thinks.
We do not need the Lord Seeker. We need his Templars, with or without his approval. The breach will not wait for our differences to settle. Good news. Several noble Orlesian houses will petition the Templars to help us stop the breach. Lord Abernash will approach you. Sign nothing he offers, but his gossip's reliable. I hope he knows the Lord Seeker's mood. The Templars will never help without his consent.
All right, with that little back and forth finished, let's confirm this operation. Who do we want to take with us? I think, obviously, Cassandra. She has some sort of tie to this. I'm thinking Varric. And I'm thinking Vivi.
The Herald of Andraste! Lord Esmerel Abernash, honored to participate. It is not unlike the second dispersal of the reclaimed Dales. Ah, Lady Vivienne, we met at last summer's ball. The Duke introduced us.
Indeed. I could not possibly forget the occasion.
The Lord Seeker is willing to hear our petition about closing the breach. A credit to our alliance with the Inquisition. Care to mark the moment? 10 Orlesian houses walk with you.
The Inquisition values this alliance, Lord Abernash. The Templars must see reason. We can't let the breach endanger us any longer.
Oh yes, ghastly-looking thing. The Lord Seeker can't think we're ignoring it. Speaking of which, I don't suppose you'd divulge what finally got their attention. Rumor will, if you won't.
What do you mean?
The Lord Seeker won't meet us until he greets the Inquisition in person. Quite a surprise after the spat in Val Royeaux.
The Inquisition only asks the Lord Seeker help us close the breach.
Then it's all been arranged by your ambassador. Let the diplomats work their magic if you trust them. Between you and I, the Chantry never took advantage of their Templars. Wiser heads should steer them. Here we are, Theronfall Redoubt.
Oh, it screams, I hate fun and kick puppies, doesn't it?
It appears they've sent someone to greet you. Present well. Everyone is a little tense for my liking.
These lords are useful, but none of this should be necessary. Surely the Lord Seeker sees the true threat. What is he playing at?
The Lord Seeker changed his mind about us rather quickly. Is he known for that?
The Lord Seeker isn't reputed to be fickle. Something must have changed.
We are going to end it here for today. In our next episode, we are going to figure out what is going on here and why they changed their mind about the Inquisition and why they want to meet us. So we're going to meet with our Templar contact and get on with Champions of the Just. So yeah, I wasn't expecting the entire episode to be us just talking to people. So yeah, we had a talking episode with everybody. Nice to check in with all of our friends, flirt with some of our friends, friendly stuff. So yeah, until next time.